Welcome to Share Talk, the only podcast where investors come first.
Hello and welcome to Share Talk. Today I'm joined by Colin Bird, who's Executive Chairman at Galileo Resources. How are you today, Colin?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you, Zach?
I'm fine. As we've heard so much about Extract, it's a relief to hear about a different company. I think what's going on at Galileo at the moment?
Well, we talk about relief, but we've announced this very good acquisition in the Kalahari Copper Belt. I think there are many aspects to it which are pleasing. I think probably the first one is that we're not partnering, we're not joint venturing. We're in actual fact selling a few of the licenses, but we're I think I'd describe it as teaming up with a company called Sandfire. Now, Sandfire is a Australian listed company, very strong. They proved very good capability at discovery, good capability at executing and building mines, and also extremely good at operating mines. And so one couldn't have a better acquirer. And if our project, they decide to buy the project we're left to, a better partner. Very capable group, very well led, and full of good operating types, both at the geological level and at the mine operating level. But to get right to the deal, Sandfire are paying us a premium of 25% over the 10-day price to invest $1.5 million. They're agreeing to buy for $3 million our licenses. They're agreeing to spend $4 million over the next 2 years on the licenses that they've acquired. And there's two particular licenses, 250 and 251, which they've agreed to spend at least $2 million. Now, if they're successful, there's a sliding scale, and that's in the news release, between naught. So if they're not successful, we don't get anything. But based on contained tons up to 750,000, there's a contained tons of copper. There's a sliding scale, as I say, between naught and $80 million. It's described as a success fee. And the thing about these licenses, Zach, is they're close to their developing mine T3, which is going to be a huge mine, and they've made a major discovery called, which they call the A4, which is known as the A4. And some of the ground we're talking about is sold to them, is in close proximity to A4, and probably would be of use, be a feed to the new mine that they're developing, which I understand might be as high as 5 million tons a year processing. On top of this, Zach, we've retained two licenses, 39 and 40, which we regard as highly prospective. And of course, we will start drilling on these licenses. We feel we've got a dome on 39, and we feel that we've got very similar geology to the Zone 5 project in the Kalahari. So we've also got an excellent chance of discovery ourselves. So Sandfire, quite as one would expect, they've got an option to acquire if we discover a new mine. I don't think it'd be existing fee. It'd be fee for their existing mine. It would be a new mine. But with 37 kilometres of conductor, the chances are very good. And what does appear to be a dome on license 39, also the chances appear to be very good as well. So it's basically a sale of the licenses. It's success fee on contained copper. It's well funded. We pick up $3 million to investigate our own projects, and should those projects be successful, then Sandfire have a right to acquire them. First right of refusal. So we think our shareholders there have really benefited in this acquisition. We're working with a very strong company and the rewards and the multiples of what we paid for these projects, Zach, are quite staggering in the short time that we've held them.
So, if I understand this correctly, this deal is a mixture of an acquisition, a partnership, a farm out. I mean, it's an offtake. It's everything, almost like everything in one. Is that right?
It's not a partnership in any shape or form, because I guess they will do the drilling and they will buy on contained copper. So that's not a partnership. In terms of what we do, if we find an ore body ready to develop, it's a purchase, an arm's length purchase on a basis. It's first right of refusal. But, we really benefit. I mean, at the moment, Zach, they've got, I think, 7 machines operating on the A4. They've got a big presence in Botswana. They're going flat out now. So we've certainly got all the benefit of that to take us towards that success fee. And I think you and I both know that we'll have the benefit of advice on our own project should we want it, because it's in both parties' interest. Very good people to work with, very good people, very knowledgeable, very capable, Zach.
And of course, for shareholders, initially the headline there of having a premium raise is also quite a confidence booster.
We don't hear that very often in this day and age, do we, Zach? I mean, let's face it, 10% is about the going rate, but the companies are doing deals today at a 25% discount, 30% discount. They've got a strong market, but still just about every new raising is done at a discount to the current price. This time round, we're talking a 25% premium to the 10-day VWAP.
And I mean that clearly sort of gives an indication that maybe Galileo has historically been undervalued by the market.
By Jove, hasn't it? I think that on various presentations I've made to your good self, I've actually said a lot about the Kalahari. And the USGS, US Geological Society, they class it as the top emerging copper region in the world. Now think about it. We acquired ground in and around what is probably going to be the first big mine to be built there. So nice position, a really nice position. And I've been going on about it for some months. And of course, I've been going on about copper even more for some months. And so combine the two, the highly prospective region in copper, big discoveries, with a company who's going to start mining there and build a mine. I don't think it could be better for our shareholders, Zach. I really don't. And, we've got Stars Inc. to talk about in due course, and Kachitu Zinc, as well as our Glenover, where there's a party looking at doing test work here there and on the rare earth aspects, as well as other aspects of the feed in terms of phosphate or superphosphate. So all in all, Galileo has been grossly undervalued for some time.
And of course, Sandfire is I suppose it's the equivalent of £500 million company. So they do know what they're doing. They're not a small entity by any means.
Far from it, and it's been a pleasure to work with the people in terms of expertise. And if you look at their results, I think it's good. I think their mine in Australia is called De Grasso, a copper gold venture. They know copper gold, and quite frankly, they've produced very good results. Brought a mine into production, to discover, execute a build, and then operate successfully, and produce good operating performance. It's not easy. So they're all-rounders with high capability and strongly led.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens there. Colin Bird, Executive Chairman at Galileo Resources, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Zane. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.